former fencing director Raymond King meets up with an unknown assassin called Anis. King requests he wanted to help to locate a Salvadoran family. Although he was semi-retired, it was a case he took seriously. Anis stares at him like an alley cat and didn't respond to his request, but she warned his being followed. The frantic old man ran for cover as the killers were on the pursuit. As the killers closed in on him, King came on out from nowhere and threw down. Basically, he Jason Bourne them. Unfortunately, his escape was cut short as he was assassinated. Mary Beth Medina, King's protege and current director of FinCEN, recognizes his body, notices "Find the accountant" scribbled on his arm, and decides to take up the investigation. Burke and his top sniper Cobb are at their business discussing Ray and Anis. They recognize her since she showed up at a meeting Burke had with 3 other gentlemen and slaughtered the guys while leaving Burke unharmed. Burke instructs Cobb to travel to Fort Worth and deal with anyone else inquiring into their filthy business. Deal as in murder them. Medina, despite being mistrustful of Christian Wolf's illegal activities and a psychopathic and OCD lunatic, decides to search for him to get help. In a parking lot out of nowhere like Batman, Chris appears before Medina. They investigate Ray's photos and conduct an investigation, discovering multiple photos of deceased Chilean ex-Special Forces members, as well as a tax return from Edith Sanchez. Chris and Mary Beth travel to a pizza factory to meet with the manager Ike because Edith apparently worked there. When Ike fails to provide the necessary information, Chris conducts his own research and concludes that Ike participates in money laundering. Ike gets in Chris's face, causing him to twist his finger and beat off a few colleagues who try to help Ike. Chris eventually forces Ike to acknowledge that he receives money from an individual named Thomas, who traffics women. As the investigation gets more complicated, Christian invites his estranged brother, Braxton, who is still an assassin, to assist with the case. The brothers set up a trap at a location and waited till Thomas arrived. Meanwhile, Mary Beth hears about Emiliano's death, Edith's husband Gino's death, and their son Alberto's disappearance. When he arrived, Brax punches Thomas off the balcony and into a car, knocking him out before putting him in Mary Beth's trunk. The next day, Mary Beth joins Chris and Brax as Chris attempts to reach Justine. She mobilizes her hacking network to breach security footage throughout Los Angeles in search of Anis. They were able to see the image of Anis on the night of King's assassination. However, they couldn't figure out her origin. Mary Beth discovers that Chris and Brax were responsible for some of the fatalities of Chilean ex-Special Forces members, prompting her to withdraw from their assistance and continue her inquiry by the book. Mary Beth and an attorney subsequently meet with Thomas and his legal representative. Ike was murdered and had a rat stuffed down his mouth. Cobb uses a sniper rifle to kill Thomas and his lawyer before he can consent to testify against his employers. Medina visits a hospital mentioned in one of King's papers and recognizes Anis as the mother in the photo. Anis experienced a catastrophic accident and lost her memories. To escape, she learned excellent combat skills. Chris discovers that Brax's employer has ordered him to kill Mary Beth. Chris races to get there first, but Anis arrives first. She and Mary Beth get into a confrontation, which ends with Anis stabbing her. Before leaving, Anais looks at a photo of herself as Edith with Gino and Alberto. This brings back memories of being trafficked by Burke and his guys and seeing him kill Gino. Chris arrives to see Mary Beth and requests her assistance. Braxton and Christian learn that Anis's autistic son, Alberto, is being held captive in a Juarez prison camp among other children of trafficking victims, apart from their families. They attacked the compound and got into a gunfight. Later on, they raced down the road in pursuit to save Alberto and the rest of the youngsters. They eliminated the guards and killed Cobb after a standoff, then rescue Alberto. Justine calls Batu and blackmails him into canceling his contract with Medina. Justine informs Anis about Burke's hiding place, resulting in his murder. Justine and the autistic children plan to welcome Alberto to their facility in New Hampshire, while Braxton and Christian talk of going on a brotherly camping trip. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the recap. Please, if you like recaps like this, don't forget to like or hit the subscribe button.